Welcome to Square Profiled, the series where we pull back the curtain on one of the most chaotic voices in his community. Tonight we examine Square, a writer whose rants, accusations and social maneuvering reveal a complex interplay of paranoia, projection and compulsive control. This isn't just online drama, this is a window into a fragile psyche caught between self-justification and obsession with social status. As we break down his writing, his mindset and his relationships, you'll see patterns that repeat, escalate, and ultimately reveal the vulnerabilities of someone obsessed with being both feared and validated. Square's writing is sprawling and fragmented. Sentences run excessively long, often stacking multiple clauses without punctuation. For example, he writes,
"Do you realize you're literally dancing and bitching and crying as well as you are Goku because you were supposedly sent clips yesterday? What did I say that talked about you so bad, Goku?"
The effect is overwhelming, a torrent of words that prioritizes emotional release over clarity. Repetition dominates his rhetoric. Words like lie, roleplay, truth and profanity appear again and again. He repeatedly states,
Lie, make-believe, roleplay, that's all you do."
This repetition signals obsession, a compulsion to prove himself while discrediting perceived opponents.
"You can try all the bitching you want to try to get me to go over there and get mad or something, but it ain't fucking working."
While claiming control and calm, the tone is clearly reactive and emotionally charged. He rails against blind loyalty, yet demands it from others. Projection is constant. Traits he assigns to others, deceit, hypocrisy, manipulation, are mirrored in his own behavior. Psychologically, Square exhibits traits consistent with paranoia, narcissism, and emotional volatility. He positions himself simultaneously as victim and truth-teller, uniquely capable of exposing deception. Yet, any contradiction or disagreement is interpreted as a personal attack.
"You can't handle the truth and you keep this going, and you know you're not going to sit there and say, 'Oh, I can't hold my word.'"
His obsession with truth suggests a fragile ego dependent on external validation. Every comment, every perceived slight becomes a test of loyalty.
"We both know that you are watching, you aren't getting sent no damn clips."
The fixation on clips, evidence of conversations, illustrates a duality. He consumes information obsessively while accusing others of doing the same.
"I ain't got no issues with you. You're a crazy bitch."
Profanity and aggressive language function as venting mechanisms and attempts to intimidate. Psychologically, Square exhibits traits consistent with paranoia, narcissism and emotional volatility. He positions himself simultaneously as victim and truth-teller, uniquely capable of exposing deception. Yet any contradiction or disagreement is interpreted as a personal attack. Square's environment amplifies these tendencies. He monitors multiple individuals, parsing every word and interaction for signs of loyalty or betrayal. For example, he writes,
"Supreme got nothing to do with it. You don't own him, he's not your soul friend, and his channel is not yours."
Group hierarchies, seniority and social rank dominate his concerns. Any deviation from expected allegiance triggers aggressive responses. He constructs justification narratives to validate his own actions while delegitimizing others. This mirrors known patterns of online meltdown personalities. These individuals obsess over status, assign intentionality to every interaction, and externalize blame for conflict. Square fits this archetype closely, but his messages reveal deep psychological fragility, fear, insecurity, and a constant need for recognition. He monitors multiple individuals, parsing every word and interaction for signs of loyalty or betrayal. Any deviation from expected allegiance triggers aggressive responses. He constructs justification narratives to validate his own actions while delegitimizing others. When compared to online behavioral archetypes, sometimes labeled as lolcows, Square exhibits classic indicators: obsession with status and attention, extreme sensitivity to perceived slights, projection of faults onto others, compulsive justification of actions. Unlike purely performative cases, Square's writing reveals vulnerability. His identity is inseparable from social perception, making every insult, betrayal, or challenge a threat to his ego.
"All you people like to do this shit to me because you are thinking that this is going to get them to lay off you."
We also see cyclical escalation. Perceived betrayal triggers a rant, provoking responses, creating feedback loops that intensify conflict. This cyclical escalation intensifies conflict and further destabilizes social bonds. Square's writing is a map of his psychological state. Paranoia, narcissism, insecurity, and emotional volatility intertwined. Each rant, accusation, and demand for loyalty signals an ego both fragile and inflated.
You can try all the bitching you want, boy, it ain't gonna work.
His duality drives both conflict and obsession with social control. He cannot merely participate, he must dominate, justify, and expose.
You can try all the bitching you want, boy, it ain't gonna work.
In doing so, he unintentionally undermines his credibility and exposes the traits he accuses others of having. Each rant, accusation, and demand for loyalty signals an ego both fragile and inflated. In conclusion, Square's writing illustrates the paradox of modern online conflict. The lines between truth, perception, and projection blur completely. He is simultaneously victim, accuser, and judge, locked in cycles of paranoia, obsession, and social manipulation.
You can't handle the truth, that's all you do. Role play, lie.
Square Profiled will continue to track his behavior, rhetoric, and unraveling, a psychological chronicle unfolding in real time. Each episode will analyze, expose, and document the patterns that define his world: alliances, betrayals, obsessive need for control, and unfiltered volatility of a fragile ego on display. Stay tuned, this is only the beginning.